All right. We are here. We are live. This is the week 3 replay. I am joined by Mr. Charcoal Oven himself. Say what up.
Yo!
You, man, you didn't follow the rules. That's not what up. Just kidding.
What up?
So, we are going to. I know I said last week that we were going to do a little a separate Rick montage, and we're still technically going to do a little separate Rick montage, but it's not going to be a separate stream. We had a pretty lackluster week. I am also partially to blame for that. So we're putting all of the battles in one go. We're going to start off with Rick's week 1 and his week 2.
Yeah.
Before we get in, do you have
One.
anything you want to say about this week?
Yeah. Okay. Just one thing I want to say before we begin is that there were 3 games that were not finished this week,
Yep.
which is it's just like it happens. It's disappointing. Um, I think we just gotta. One, I just want to remind everyone that a forfeit does not benefit you in the slightest.
No.
It counts as an extra negative game into the differential. So instead of having like if you played 2 games, you lose both of them and all of your mons are killed, you don't get any kills. It's still worse. That's still not as bad as forfeiting because that extra game differential matters a lot more than the mon differential.
Yep.
So that's the first thing. Second thing, we just try to communicate better in weeks going forward. I know some people were trying to get these matches in, which was just really good on them. Special shout out to Rick for coming into this position where he had not really any advantage as it came to like team building, but then also having to come in like after 2 weeks already gone, and he had to play 2 matches, and then his last one, and he tried to get it in, but then the other person wasn't able to play it. So big shout to him for getting or at least attempting to get in 3 matches in 1 week.
Oh, yeah.
But then I think just communicating better, maybe setting like 2 times early in the week.
Oh yeah, that was something that you had brought up is when we're doing our scheduling, maybe we should do like a hey, this is when I'm free, and then when you finally figure out, the time frame of okay, we're free here, let's fight Tuesday at 3 o'clock. Sure. Well, what if Tuesday at 3 o'clock doesn't work? What are you gonna do then? Do you have a Tuesday at 7 o'clock? Are you available Thursday at 1 o'clock? Figure it out from there. I think setting up a good background barrier, at least a deadline, like hey, we have this until this. Obviously, we have the weekly deadline, but like we all have lives. Personal deadlines exist. Unfortunately, I'm fucking one of these people that has a stupid, indiscriminate schedule right now. Stupid. All right. Let's do it. Rick, you're week 1 against Mr. Solo. Put this bitch on slow mode.
Nice.
What do we got for Terras? Terra Ghost, Steel, Fairy Ground, Water Flying. Interesting. Okay, those all make sense. Dunsparce normal. Uh-oh. Grass, fire.
Grass type Rillaboom. I think the only reason to do that in that case is probably just
He's
offensive Terra.
Nah.
I'm not sure if that's the best idea because of grassy because just terrain, but
For Rillaboom, I definitely think it's an offensive Terra. For Metagross and Electabuzz, it's definitely for Spore, considering Electabuzz has Follow Me.
Definitely.
Which is really fun, because I think
especially because he's bringing both Galarian Weezing and Toadschool.
Yep.
So I think that was definitely a good idea on Rick's part.
I agree. Terra Flying Drifblim is interesting as well. I would argue if you're going to keep one of your innate types, Ghost is the one to keep.
True. Also, I think Terra, I don't know what was going through his he could have done this for a completely different reason. But I didn't really see anything that was really doing too much against the you're looking at the Terrafire Azumarill.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of threw me off a little bit, seeing that off the top of my head, the only thing that really does a ton into Azumarill on Solo's team that he brought at least is Electivire.
What about things like Burn?
Burn could definitely be
I think it's a burn.
impactful.
It's the same
It
reason.
definitely-
It's one of the reasons why I run Terrafire on Sizor sometimes.
That's fair. That's fair. And as far as Solos goes, Terra Steel, that's like probably defensive. Terra Ghost is definitely defensive.
Yeah.
Terra Fairy, I think that could sort of
Offensive fucking what's that?
That's more offensive. Like I see Weezing as more of a you just keep it on the field, but I think it's also good if it's also getting kills though. So that could be good. And I think for Toad School, it's like most certainly offensive.
Yeah. Earth Power Toad Screw Go Burr. And then
Yeah, especially because it's already quad weak to ice, so it's definitely offensive there.
I like the defensive terrors on the Gliscor and the Electivire. Those both make.
Yeah, I think that was really good on the Electivire. Just erase its only weak. Like even though it picks up other weaknesses, it just erases its only.
Right.
It's like the type's only weakness as far like the electric type's only weakness, which is really good. So.
All right, let's see what we got for leads. We got the Weezing lead. We got
that makes sense.
Strong lead.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, because now
hard neutralizing gas. No grassy terrain gets set.
No grassy terrain. That's really good.
No huge power. Ooh, does protect from the spore though. Fat U-turn.
U-turn does a lot of damage.
I think U-turn's the fucking move of the league so far. It's been putting in work.
That's impressive. Sludge Bomb doesn't do a ton into the Electabuzz.
Nah, that thing's Eviolite. Eviolite, follow me, guaranteed. Fat belly drum.
Belly drum. Pause. Okay, so you see how with that belly drum, I'm betting. I would bet you maybe not $20, but maybe like $10 that is a citrus berry. That is a citrus berry, Azumarill.
Yeah, and it lived at the 1% because he messed his EVs up
he messed his EVs up, and because belly drum when it's calculating the damage it rounds down. So
and level 50 EVs are different than level 100 EVs.
Yeah, so like there's the slightest difference, and it's because it's an odd HP stat. It rounds it up. It rounds the damage down, which means it stays above 50%, which doesn't trigger the citrus berry, which could come back to bite him.
We shall see. Fat Aqua Jet, Giga Drain, tanks.
That Aqua Jet does a lot less than I actually expected.
I did too.
Even
well, it's because the neutralizing gas.
That's you're right.
That thing ain't got no huge power right now. Yep, there's the follow me.
Mm-hmm.
Hot. Gets rid of the Toad Scroll. There we go.
Aqua Jet kills the
Bruh, the Weezing. Oh, not the
poison. The poison.
No.
Oh.
Shiny Drifblim goes so fucking hard. Beautiful strength sap. Oh, there's the burn. See, buddy?
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, now the citrus berry comes out, so it doesn't matter this game. It doesn't matter at all this game.
Nope. Aqua Jet
does not do a lot. It's Ursaluna is very tanky. Like when you think about it, it's still ×2 attack on the
It's physically defensive.
On the Azumarill.
I think more than especially defensive. Good tailwind.
Yeah.
Okay. Player, you need to double down on that fucking Weezing, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Double down on that Weezing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like at this point, it's only like it's a very awkward 3v2, but it's still a 3v2. So
right.
Gets the burn off. That's really good. And now it's a 3v1, and now it's just really hard to. That's really hard to bring this back.
Yep.
Oh, it survives.
It fucking lives on the one. That's so bad.
Yeah, and that's got to put the nail in the coffin here.
Yeah, there's no way.
And it's okay. Yeah, there it might have been. at the end of that game, it probably might have been a better idea to just go into the like try to get the kill off on the wheezing. I think
Right.
it was a really they're both just so tanky. So it might have just ended up with both of them being alive either way, but it in that case when there's not really too much hope, just going for just those extra kills is going to be very beneficial, especially like it maybe it won't come down to it, but it's still a tiebreaker. Like how many kills you get is still a tiebreaker, which is very important in the long run. So
True. True. And those are both very low. It sucks. It sucks being able or seeing it
so yeah.
not clench.
Mm-hmm.
Clench?
So very
Clutch.
clench.
Whoa! Wait a minute. Fuck. That's funny. Okay. Let's get on.
Yeah. So that was a very interesting game one.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens this next one, but
All right.
okay. So this is from Rick's.
This one's from Rick's POV. Yeah, I like to switch it around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So that much different lead.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think this is going to be very okay. That does some good damage on the Metagross, and it does set up Tailwind, which is really nice.
Good knockoff.
That's a lot of damage on the knockoff. That's a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Grass Terra.
Oh! Good read.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was
I think
Terra,
but I don't think.
read.
Well, I think it was. I think that was probably mainly just for just the super effective damage because it would have done the same amount of damage either way. But Fire Punch on Electivire is a very good. It's just very good coverage. In general, like against this team with Rillaboom, Metagross, and then
sleep.
I don't know what else he had in the back, but
I unfortunately we're gonna see the same belly drum thing happen again, unless he takes chip damage first. I would have taken the chip damage. Oh no, because that means Salt Cure.
Ooh, Body Press
and
is good
it wasn't
damage.
even directed at him anyway, so that was kind of a waste of. And the Follow Me, okay. Yep. Oh.
Okay.
That's at least he's
now
gonna
this
go for
is
Belly Drum, which is gonna proc the Citrus Berry, but he's only at 36% health. And
yeah.
Salt Cure. Oh,
Salt Cure is gonna do some good damage.
Yep,
yeah, that's
gone.
That belly drum really bit him in the ass, and then Ice Spinner does no damage. Oh my god! And then that should do it. Yeah, that was a really just dominating game 2 by Solo right there.
Yes, it was. Yeah, absolutely, it was. Like, I mean, his presence game 1 was really good too, but like that was just a blowout.
Yeah, like we did not even see his third Mon.
Nope. Excuse me.
And I forget if we saw his third one in the in game 1, but that was an impressive game 2.
No, we just saw Luna.
We didn't.
Out.
Yeah. That was a pretty clean set for the most part. I think there were some moves that I saw that were a little questionable, just like just some chip damage, but for the most part it was really good play. So
Iron Defense
that was
Body Press Garganackle is hot.
That was nice. That was nice.
I love Garganackle. It's my favorite Gen 9 Pokemon. Like,
so
besides Roaring Moon, because that doesn't technically count, because it does count, but it's still Salamence. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I still think in game 2 at least, I think the Terra on the Metagross was a little bit questionable. I think you could have waited, but
he used it to secure a kill. I will say, because then it would have been an even quicker blowout, and that wouldn't have been fun for him. But he did use it to secure a kill against the Gliscor.
That is fair. Yeah. That makes sense.
And it was an excellent read. But
then the fire punch just kind of That was a good. That's a really good coverage move on Electivire. So I think
That's that's
definitely a
more or
good
less what I'm
bring.
getting on the. It was an excellent read part. I realize now it sounds like I was saying the Terra Grass on Rick. No, the
Yeah,
fire punch into the to the Metagross, because like
yeah, because they're like you can't really read because unless he was thinking he was gonna like
switch.
switch out or
That's
if
what
he
I
was
thought.
debating that, but I think
He
just
said,
going
"Fuck
into
it."
that slot in that case was just like if I don't know if he was looking at the Terras, but if you look at the Terras, you see that
That was
either way he's super
Yep.
effective
That was my
with Fire
logic.
Punch. So that was good.
All right, let's get into well played, Rick. Good job solo on clutching that week 1. Uh, glad you got to get your fight in. Sorry that your debut match didn't go well, Rick. But we'll see how game 2 go or week 2 goes. So now we got Rick versus fuck. See, this is where I read the showdown name and then I forget their Discord name.
Yeah, me too.
I had this issue last season where I was like, fuck. It was Rick and Bozy. I kept switching their usernames around during the live stream. It was not a good time.
Yeah. Wait, who? So this was. I am really tripping right now. Is that I'll just go into
Oh,
replays.
that's where I thought I was. Oh, it's Wah. I knew that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, what? Yeah,
We should have known
I should
that.
have recognized that. I should have recognized that. I think like I watched some of the replays from this week, but and then that's probably why I forgot because Watt wasn't able to play
What up,
his
Eli?
match this week, which was against Solo because I think there was some miscommunication there. So
It's fair. It's fair.
unfortunate, but yeah,
Now I have to fight Wah this week.
have fun.
Yeah, it's exciting. I love that team. All right. Week 2 for Rick and Wah. Wow. Oh no, the sound's
Oh
off.
god, it's
Ah!
so loud.
Dunsparce is fucking.
Okay, hold on.
Right.
So as far as Terra types go,
We see roughly
Fly-
the same Terras from Rick this week, except for the Dunsparce went Terra normal.
very different. There's a lot like in that first week we still see a lot of grass here, but we see a lot more flying
No,
Terra
like
types.
literally the only difference is the Dunsparce.
Yeah.
Addition of Crocodile.
Mm-hmm.
And then
the Terra's obviously good.
ground. Okay, hot. Mitigates damage from Ice Punch while still taking damage from ice moves in general. I guess I should say you're still taking super effective moves, but it does get mitigated. That's pretty hot.
I think one thing that might have probably convinced him to bring ground instead of some other type that was resistant to ice or maybe neutral to ice was there's not like I don't know like what else he has in the back. Like we could check, but there was probably little threat from ice damage aside from maybe like Icy Wind, which doesn't do a lot of damage in the first place.
Didn't we see an ice spinner from the Dunsparce week 1 or week 1?
I think we did. But that's as far as we got though.
Granted, I don't know how much time Wah had to do research either on the subject.
Yeah, I don't think because again Rick had to get a lot of matches in this week, and I think Wah had
a harder ground hit for Electabuzz and Metagross.
Only a little bit, and Wah only had a little bit of time going into this week to get matches in. So I think that could have contributed to that also, but we'll see what happens.
Purely offensive Terra. Well, I guess technically, like obviously you had the purely offensive mindset when you made it, but I mean theoretically the logic of taking an ice move at super effective, still mitigating the damage does work. So there is a defensive aspect.
Yep.
It's multifaceted, modal, if you will. Good leads. This is a very interesting lead set. Setting up the rain or not setting up the rain right away, or is it because I'm just not in the match enough yet? It's not turn 1 yet. I think that's what it is.
I think we'll see it in a second.
Let's see. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay.
There we go.
Now we're in turn 1. Immediate
Okay, so
taunt.
that makes
Icy Wind.
okay.
Ugh. Ooh. The
Okay.
Dun. Throat Chop. Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's hot. There's a lot of sound-based moves that motherfucker can learn. I like that.
Makes sense.
It
Yeah.
does. Could intimidate into the crocodile. Holy
Muddy water does a
fuck!
okay. There was a crit. There was a
There
crit.
was a crit.
I'm not sure if it mattered, but that was still a lot of that was still a lot of damage.
It was a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Follow me. Oh!
Ooh.
Damn. And that rock slide's not doing anything because he's going slower than them. So, like, yeah, it's doing chip.
Balloon gets popped.
Balloon gets popped. That's hot. A balloon gets popped and a balloon comes out. That's funny. There's the coil. Okay. The Dun is activated. Strength sap.
Dun is definitely big.
Dun is poison.
It does very little damage, but they're both poisoned now, which is...
Oh, that is an AoE move. Ooh. Noted.
I think they're pumping the Dunsparce up a lot.
Yeah,
and
no
I think because like they get some damage off, but they're about to die from poison, now there's and now it's dead, and whatever comes in is going to get poisoned. So unless it's Metagross, but
taunt. Okay. Interesting wisp. For chip damage, I would assume.
Yeah, I think the Glamora is mostly there just to like set up poison, because like both of his mons are poisoned, and now there's two layers of toxic spikes. They're both poisoned, and the only mon that isn't that is like directly immune to poison on
he didn't bring it
on Rick's team is Metagross, and I think that that like the poison I think did a lot there, especially on the Dunsparce, because after two times using coil, it didn't eventually do as much as I think Rick wanted it to.
Yeah, it didn't matter at that point.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially in the face of a Glamora, because that's just a. Let me fucking mute it this time.
Let's go.
All right, game 2. What do we got? Overquill and Polytoad. Yep.
So same lead, I think.
Yeah, same lead. Sets up the Grassy Surge right away. Yeah, that
Grassy Surge comes up, but then also the rain comes up. So this is definitely
goes for a fake out. Nice flame.
This is definitely very good for Polytoad.
Yep.
If it has a grass type move. Icy Wind lowers the speed.
Oh.
Ooh.
Berry mitigation.
That's smart. That's smart.
Very, very smart.
It wouldn't have.
knows what they're doing.
Yeah. Like, if it weren't for that berry, the Polytoad would be dead right now.
I don't think so.
Not to the... Well, no. It wouldn't be dead to the Grassy Glide, but it would be dead to the acrobatics. It would have been dead to the acrobatics afterwards.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Ooh, okay.
The poison offense that Glamora...
The poison is really deadly.
It's fucking gross.
Because, like... Yeah, Rillaboom's gonna die, like, pretty soon after it comes back in.
Yep. I think he's trying to save it for a grassy terrain in the back, though. Question is does he have the 2 turns, and will he survive the 2 turns in order to bring it back up for it to make sense?
Yeah. What I'm a little bit surprised about is Glamora is not protecting as much as I'd expect it to.
Woo!
Because, oh my god, that does a lot of damage. That does a lot of damage. So I'm okay. So it doesn't get, it's a steel type, so it doesn't get poisoned. We'll just state the obvious, but
Oh god damn
that
it.
does a good chunk of damage. Glamora is putting in work,
Okay,
and
Glamora's down.
Glamora is down.
Damn,
Oh,
the
double
berry strats,
berries!
dog. Hot. Love to see it.
Takes like almost no damage. Well, not no damage, but like compare like for a super effective move into it. That's impressive.
Reflect. Ooh.
Okay.
Chunky acro. Good Terra. Damn.
Okay. Yeah. So that's 2 months. That's 2 months down, and then the Rillaboom is already poisoned. So that's going to be. It's still a 2v2. Like we'll see what happens here, but it's going to be very dependent on what happens this turn.
Down.
So the Politoed does die. That was the right call. That was the right call. And now Rillaboom does gain HP from the grassy terrain, but it doesn't do nearly enough damage to the Dragapult.
So
that's gonna
I
finish it.
think they sent their matches in inverse order somehow because we do have a game 3.
I think here, click on it. I think they might have sent the same thing twice. I think that might be what happened.
The URL is the same except for this question mark P2 added at the end.
Check the first game.
You know, it's a completely different URL.
Here's
here's an
maybe
easy way to
scroll
figure this
up.
out. Exact same ending.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So it was only a 2 set.
Okay. So it was 2 games. Yes. That's.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was really good prep. What?
Wah was letting us was answering our question, so we didn't have to be confused, but we decided to stay confused.
Of course. But yeah, that was a really good game on. That was a really good game on Wah's part. I think there was.
That poison. The poison.
The poison did a lot.
A lot.
The poison helped a lot. Especially in game 1. I think it was a lot more prevalent in game 1 than it was in game 2, but it definitely.
Like I almost want to go back and count.
It was definitely a factor in both games.
Barrage.
That would take way too much time, but yeah.
But it was doing so much work.
But yeah. So I think one thing I saw that I think could have been a little better on like there wasn't a lot that Wah could have done better. That was a really just impressive set, but I think I was a little surprised at how little protect there was once there was poison up, especially when there was poison in game 1 against both Mons.
Right.
Like you'd expect to maybe protect a little bit more, play a little more defensively because at that point there's already a timer on it. So.
But also, if you have chip damage, I would say you have passive damage going. You might as well sit there and say, well, why would I sit there and want to deal 12% a turn when I can deal, an extra 13% from a Barrage or whatever.
Makes sense.
But yeah, I get it. Hi, Cat. No, you can't rub your face on the mic. Well, you can, but it won't work. Cat, sorry, we're having more technical difficulties. Move, honey.
Oh, hi, Cat.
All right.
Okay.
So that is our weekly recap for Rick's week 1 and week 2. Good shit.
Yeah, just another shout out to Rick. That was really for coming in, building a team with like the leftovers of the draft, and being able to finish 2 games and at least attempt to schedule a third. That one was eventually forfeit. That one was eventually forfeited by his opponent. So Rick is currently sitting at 1 and 2 from the forfeit. So. Yeah. But that was really good on Rick for getting all those in. So I was impressed.
Oh, absolutely.
Mhm.
Alrighty, we are going into week 3. Woo!
Which we only have 3 sets for.
Shut up.
Yippee.
First up, we got. Is this what we're doing
I think
first?
it was.
No, I'm on the wrong one. Shut up. Don't say anything. I didn't do it. There we go.
Okay. So this set is definitely an interesting one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, I will say so. I did see some of the prep that was going on in the background, and I think in this game there was a lot of prep involved in making this work. But I think some of the moves in the game were a little bit questionable, and there definitely were reasons. But like the result is like
We'll see.
it ended up how it is. So
Yeah.
whatever.
Fair enough. Let's see. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
What do we got? Goldingo, Terra Electric. Interesting.
I'm not seeing. Hold on.
Cats. Fuck off. Dang old
Is it
kitty
just
cat.
me or is it not? Is it not playing?
It's not playing. I paused it so we could talk about the terrace.
Ah, there we go. Okay. But yeah, so as far as terras go, I think on Feeney's side, there was probably a lot of thought going against it, like all the like the rain stuff that was coming from Blizzard, and I think so that Terra Electric on Goldango that could have been maybe it was I think I did watch this. I think it was an offensive Terra using either I think it was I forget if it was Thunder or Thunderbolt. Probably Thunder once rain is up.
Right, because he does have a pretty crazy
Mhm.
selection of coverage moves. That makes
Yeah.
sense. Terra
And I
Ghost
think
makes sense on the wheezing.
yeah.
Yep.
And then
Palafin Electric.
Terra
Grass.
Terra Ghost on the Archaludon makes a lot of sense because fighting is I believe quad effective into
No,
it,
just
or am I tripping?
just double.
It's just double, but yeah. But that would still do a lot of damage. It also neutralizes ground, which is
Yep.
quite
Terra
effective.
Ground on Pelipper makes sense. These are all very. I like these
Yeah.
terras. I like these terras.
Mm-hmm. They all make sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Goldango Wheezing lead. We got the Oranguru and the Arcanine lead. Okay.
Okay.
Intimidate. Yeah.
Intimidate does come up even
It
with the
doesn't
natural
matter.
the
Unfortunately.
neutralizing gas
No,
out.
no,
It doesn't
no.
matter with Intimidate.
It doesn't have neutralizing gas. That's Galarian.
Weezing does.
That's Galarian Wheezing.
No, Weezing does. It also says it right there.
Does it? Am I tripping?
So if you go scroll, it's the first thing that pops up in
I'll
turn
be
one.
fucking damned. I swear to wow. Okay, listen, I paid zero attention to Weezing as a Pokemon prior to Gen 8, so then along comes this new Weezing with a top hat, and I think he has a unique ability in neutralizing gas. Cool. I pay attention.
It's just he's fancy. He's a fancy boy. But yeah, I was definitely considering picking up Weezing, but it's really situational. But I think people in this have been able to use it effectively.
Ooh, see, he was anticipating the Terra Steel there.
It does get the burn with the Flare Blitz, so
Yes,
that's
huge.
important. Okay, Shadow Ball takes down the Arcanine.
Yep. Clefable eats the berry. Out comes the Dawn. Huh.
Okay, Double Protect trying to just tick away at those Trick Room and Psychic Terrain turns.
Smart. Smart. No Flash Cannon into the Clefable, though.
Expanding Force makes a lot of sense here.
Yep.
Just complete. Yeah, that was just really important turn. Really important turn. Very good from Blizzard. And now it's already down to a 3v2.
Yep. Can the Garchomp do it? Another Double Protect. Gets rid of the last turn of Trick Room.
Mm-hmm. Sword Stance? That's definitely interesting, especially because Dragon Pulse deals that much damage.
Yeah, for real. The taunt ending right away.
Mental. That was really good. That was really good from. I think that was really good prep by Blizzard. Just preparing for the taunt, because that also helps set up Trick Room.
True.
Because the taunt just does not matter into it at all. So if he had taunted earlier, that it just would have completely ignored it, letting him set up Trick Room. So there it didn't make a difference. In this case, it doesn't make a difference, but in other cases, it makes a gigantic difference, which I think was really good prep by Blizzard. So that concludes game 1.
Game 1 down. On to game 2. God damn it! I'm sorry. Uh-oh. All right.
Okay.
Dango Pally versus... Oh, we got the switch right away. Okay.
Okay.
Goes for Nasty Plot.
Nasty Plot comes up.
Flip turn. Doing a good chunk.
That might be important later on because Goldango takes 0 damage, but they are able to set up with
Trick Room.
With Trick Room and Psychic Terrain.
Flash Cannon doing a good
Flash
chunk.
Cannon that's impressive. Shadow Ball also deals a lot of damage because of the boost.
Buys Goldango 1 extra turn.
Ooh. That's really important that Shadow Ball did not deal that much damage, because now Goldango gets both kills.
Yep.
And the special attack drop does not really do much against the Goldango.
This is not going to go well, because this is a Terra Electric Goldango.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't go for it.
Okay. Yeah, I think he's trying to stall out the Trick Room.
He's protecting from Thunder here.
But I think what's interesting here is because Rain is like you can notice that Last Respects went last, and that's because it's Swift Swim.
Right.
In the Rain, so I don't think the Protect was that important there. But okay, so now it brings it down to Sash.
Lives the Last Respects, which means make it rain.
And that was only because of the Terra. It would not have survived without the Terra. Ooh. And the Electro Web picks up the kill. So then we go to...
I'm curious why he revealed the Electro Web there. I would have kept that hidden. I would have just clicked Thunderbolt again, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he might have missed that it was Life Orb, so he was just trying to get the chip damage on both Mons, because he knew that Electro Web was guaranteed to kill the Pelipper, because it was just at 1 health.
Is Electro Web a multi-hit?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, that's also valid, but going off of that, didn't Pelipper have Wide Guard? Yeah,
It does
Pelipper
have
had
wide guard, but I don't. But it might not have been. He might not have been expecting that there. So we'll.
I mean,
And
he already
also
used it.
for in. Yeah.
That's fair though. I guess that's fair. All right, on to game 3. We get a game 3. Woo!
Yeah. And like again, we can't expect everyone to like do perfect play every single time. Like
absolutely not.
so.
It's just it begs the question of why.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Garchomp lead, Alipin lead, offensive lead right out the fucking gate. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Versus a techie lead. Terra fighting right away.
Terra fighting
goes for the sword
right
stance.
away is interesting.
Assume we got a flip turn. Yep. Still dealing a fat chunky chunk.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
We do get
misses.
them. Oh, it misses
Misses
the Goldango, but it might not have done a lot. So gets both Psychic Terrain and Trick Room up.
Oh god!
Kills
the
crit.
The crit.
Don't know if it mattered, but
well,
yeah, that Terra fighting really did not do anything there.
Nope.
So that could come back to haunt Blizzard.
And this fucking Archaludon is always out in front of this Clefable.
Mm-hmm.
Always. Oh, now we get a Terrifier.
Matcha does not do a ton.
Oh, skill swap shenanigans.
Okay.
Steals the stamina.
It immediately kills it. Okay. Garchomp is now ×3. So it's the Garchomp stalls out the last turn of Trick Room.
Yep.
Palafin takes a decent chunk.
Oh god, damn, close combat.
Yeah, that's why Palafin is just really it's just really good in this set. Especially with rain.
God damn.
So it kills its own he kills his own Palafin, but he also gets rid of the Arcanine, and it's just
a
1v1. And I believe
Garchomp.
Yeah, it's just because of the attack bonus, and it's just really impressive. So I think in that case, here, can you scroll back up to the Terras? Like I don't know, in this game specifically, it could have been maybe a little bit more beneficial to save the Fighting Terra, because that kind of caught me off guard, and it didn't really help Blizzard in this game particularly.
Let's see.
He was probably doing that, making that as a read for.
Knowing the meta knowledge that we have, what would he have needed to Terra? Obviously, he didn't bring Pelipper.
Ghost. He would have needed to Terra Ghost on
I'm asking for specifically in the instance of this fight, if there was another time he could have Terra'd another Mon to have a chance of survival.
Exactly. He could have Terra Ghosted with Archaludon and survive, and he wouldn't have taken any damage from.
Oh, I thought you were saying putting Terra Ghost on the Oranguru. That's
no. That was different. But if he had saved his Terra, he would have been able to Terra Ghost on Archaludon
not
into
taking the close combat. Yep.
Not taking any damage from the close combat, which just O-code it outrightly. And there, if like.
And then he would have been able to mitigate the damage from the earthquake.
He could have also maybe predicted that the Garchomp was going to protect again and try to double into the Palafin. I don't know how much damage it would have done in that case.
Fair.
Because Electroshot would still need two turns to set up, and maybe another one of his moves would have killed. But that Terra Ghost would have been really clutch there.
Yeah, would have been different.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good set, boys.
Yeah, I think Blizzard was definitely upset by his gameplay in the second two games, but I think that it was still a really good set by both players. So it was just impressive all around.
All right, sir, you're up.
Yippee.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so this was interesting. So I think, okay, so I'll walk you through my prep a little bit, and shout out to Blizzard. We're prep buddies. We're the bros. So like I helped him a little bit with his team. He helped me a little bit with we did a lot of just testing
You're running
and
mocks
stuff
and shit.
leading
Yeah,
up
that
to
makes
these
sense.
games. Yeah, because we also don't play each other in the regular season, which
nice.
is really convenient. So, so we decided, like I decided that it would be beneficial to bring Alolan Ninetales, but I didn't think in this case that Baxcalibur, like, because I know that it might have, like, I probably could have brought it, and it might come back to haunt me in the future, but I don't think it would have made too much of a difference in this situation.
Fair.
So in this case, I decided to bring Satitan instead of bringing Baxcalibur because that he'd be like really prepared for Baxcalibur, and Satitan I set up it's really tanky. It's really tanky. And
I'm just gonna say right now,
it also just deals a lot of damage.
I immediately think Baxcalibur is a better pick here, knowing that he has a fire team, knowing that he has a sun team. That's fire offensive. Baxcalibur mitigates that.
That, like, I get
you do
that.
have thick fat. You do have thick fat.
I get that, but thick fat I was immediately came to mind. That was what that, like, between Satitan's abilities, which are all insane. In this case, thick fat was just a no-brainer.
Right.
But what I did here was which came back to this was, I think, what came back to bite me was I brought an Alolan Ninetales this time purely to just counter Torkoal. But the thing was, I set it up so I gave it like I also gave it Snowscape so that if it was on the field with and Torkoal ended up setting up Sun,
right?
I could Snowscape and bring it back to Snow. But the problem was at that point I just wanted to make it. I just wanted to help it survive.
Right.
And it wasn't set to do enough damage. So I had like only support moves on it, and then eventually when it came down to this, I just didn't feel confident enough. I definitely could have brought it. I just didn't feel confident enough in my abilities to bring it because I would have needed to play really, really well to make it work. But I probably could have. And it definitely would have been really, really good in this set. And you'll see in both of these games, I didn't bring Alolan Ninetales, and I think that really bit me.
Damn.
Yes.
Well, let's get into it.
Yeah. Yeah. So this was my first lead, and you'll see what happens. You'll see what happens this first one. So this went really well. So he switches out into the Arcanine. Ice Spinner does a little bit of damage, but my main goal was to just get rid of the Psychic Surge.
Right.
So that eventually I'd be able to
that was good.
Eventually I'd be able to use priority moves.
Getting that knockoff. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Another knockoff. Nice. Assvest. Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so he does bring in Torkoal. This is where I think Ninetales would have been really good, and I definitely could have predicted that and tried to target the Arcanine. Okay, now here this is the moment I lost. So I Earth powered the Torkoal. He Earth powers me back. It crits, which is here. Can you pause also just right after. Here you can play that the rest of the turn actually. And then he rock slides, and right now I'm just screwed. So I did talk about this. I did realize afterwards. So I could have. So the crit, I thought here the crit mattered in this case, but my big mistake was I could have targeted the Arcanine and just immediately just blew it up. So if there is a little bit of nice techie tech, so with the Ditto coming in, the Ditto has room service.
Ah.
So in Trick Room,
yep.
it gets a speed debuff, which makes it faster than whatever it copies.
That's crazy.
Or in Trick Room. So anticipating that, I should have targeted the Arcanine.
I did notice that you put a lot of
killed it.
Tech into Trick Room.
Yeah, I was very nervous about the Torkoal, and I think I was too I was too tunnel visioned that I didn't notice that if I just KO'd the Arcanine, I could have brought that back. But I think if I had KO'd the Arcanine, I think the crit still could have mattered.
Right.
Because if it weren't for that, Trick Room would have still been up, and then my Torkoal would have still been in and still been the fastest thing on the field. So in that case, it would have been beneficial. But in this case, the crit didn't matter. In the other case, it would have. But
fair enough.
Definitely, that was definitely not a fun way to end.
Lives at 1.
The set. It doesn't matter because it's completely built for speed.
Yeah, I know. The living at 1 was just, hey, fuck you.
Yeah.
Get double tapped.
Yeah. And one thing, I forgot if I used it the second game, but my Meowscarada actually also has Trick Room.
Nice. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, she's great.
So I think I might have used it the second game. I forget the specifics, but you're about to see some like an abomination of a like this is RNG hell. This is RNG hell. It's horrific.
Double starter lead.
Okay, I'll give him one thing. I did not really prepare for Komodo at all, but it could have I think you're about to see a lot of RNG happening, and I don't know what would have happened if it weren't for that, but it would have definitely been a much different game.
Intimidate, follow me.
So follow me comes out. The triple axle
miss.
Misses.
Yep. I forget protein activation.
Which would have, I think it would have been an Oko if it had hit every time. I forget exactly. But now Flare Blitz does a good bit of damage. And now Ice Spinner definitely Okos if it hits. So now
Clinging Scales, living on the Sash.
Comes down to Sash.
Wait.
And now watch this.
Wait.
Yep.
On the last match, did the Sash activate?
I don't remember if it activated.
I know I made my comment about you living at 1, but I think I would have seen it. I don't think
it activated. I think it just went down to 1. Because I didn't see it also. Like I might have been just as blind, but I don't think I saw it activate. Here, we'll double check. We'll check right here.
No.
It just does. That just did the perfect amount of damage, which is pretty funny.
That's good for knowledge at least, because now he knows you have that.
It only hit one time. It would have killed the Clefairy if it had been able to hit.
That's so fucked.
So the Clefairy would have lived. It heals the Komodo back to full.
Yep.
And then it follows me, and it forces the flamethrower, which would have hit the Komodo.
Yep.
Which would have killed it because of the boosted stats. It would have killed the Komodo if the Clefairy was dead, and that was just nail in the coffin. Like I was like, at that point I was pissed.
No, I get it.
Yeah. And then at that point it's just free.
Took someone down.
I do get the Aqua Step. That did help. That was nice. A little bit of happiness in a.
Damn.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you didn't bring A9 at all that second. That set.
Yeah. Definitely could have. Definitely do wish definitely wish I could have brought Ninetales in one of those games because I think, or maybe it might have just helped because I also brought I brought Disable on it, which
Oh,
would have
valid.
been which would have been nice against the clanging scales, but or like I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah, still well played by Saline. I think I definitely could have done better, but I still give him a lot of credit for that game. That was really nice, and I definitely was not ready for the Komodo.
Yeah, no, that Komo came out of nowhere, and he put the beans on you game 2. It was definitely a momentum switch. It was like I feel like that was the plan. Was definitely okay. This is my game 2 mon. I'm gonna bring him out to fuck up tempo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely think it could have gone to a game 3 if the if the ice spinners had hit.
That's
And for every ice spinner,
triple axle.
I'm pretty sure for no, no, yeah, you're right, triple axle. I'm pretty sure we Blizzard actually did this this calculation. The odds of ice spinner not hitting every single time is about, I think, about like maybe 32% or 32% to not hit every single time. But for that to happen and then to also miss,
Yeah.
just hit once, it's less than 10%. It's like probably close to like 8 or 9%.
Damn it, that sucks.
So that was brutal. But I still think that if that had happened, Saline definitely would have had a really good shot, and if it had gone to a game 3. So I don't like I give him a lot of credit for that. So
Fair enough. All right, this is
yeah.
our last match of the week. We have a long-time rivalry matchup here. Mr. Dallas and Eli and myself have been playing Pokemon for well over a decade, so there's some long brewing hatred. I mean, love between the three of us.
Fun.
We have a good time.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got.
Okay. Terra Stellar Excadrill. And also Terra Stellar Swampert. I think I do remember seeing Terra Stellar Swampert, so we'll see that this game.
I like these Terras.
Or the next one.
They're
definitely
all of Eli's Terras are defensive, especially that. Well, I guess actually not the Gambit. Gambit's pretty offensive in the Dark Terra.
Yeah, I mean, I think every one of his Terras helps him against Hisui and Typhlosion.
Yeah, that's I think that's exactly what that is.
Well, like, and then there's the Terra Stellar, but like Swampert's already quad resistant to fire, so at that point he can do whatever he wants.
Braviary's that's an offensive Terra. Hyphlosion that's a defensive Terra. Grafii is a defensive anti-prankster Terra. Oh yeah, no, that makes sense because Terra Dark against Grimmsnarl. Yeah, I guess that would make sense. Terra Steel Hitmontop, Terra Flying, Tyranitar, Terra. Yeah, I like these Terras. Armarouge and Snarl versus T-Tar and Excadrill right off the bat. Good leads from both of you.
We've seen that. We've seen T-Tar and Excadrill a lot with SNB, which I think is
the immediate
has been good and bad, but
I don't know why he didn't Terra Flying right there. He knew he was going to hit Earthquake. He knew that was going to be super effective. Clearly, this is Sand Force. I don't know why you didn't Terra Flying there to mitigate.
Yeah. And then the immediate switch out is,
or at least switch to Braviary. You know what I mean?
I mean, maybe he might not have had Braviary in the back. So
that's also valid. Yeah, we don't know exactly what 4 he brought, and we've already
so there's the hit on top.
Wide Guard, and we got the Stellar Terra.
So wide. That's some pretty cool
That's
tech.
good tech.
Wide guard covering for his own earthquake.
Yep, that was pretty good. Snarl coming in, eating a fake out. Hot. Armor Rouge taking the taunt. Nice. And a Psyshock. Nice.
Him on top really did not do a lot
Still
in that.
living in sand. Aw, damn. Did they both go down here into... Yeah, they both go down here to the sand. Oh, no, sand's gone.
Oh,
just kidding. Sand's gone.
It's gone.
Oh,
it's gone.
It's
so
back now.
it's back
I spoke too late to speak too soon.
There's the Terraflying.
Block clear amulet.
There's the Terraflying.
Yep.
Earthquake. That just the Decidueye just tanks. Really, just tanks that.
Aw, damn. High horsepower misses. Ooh, Smackdown forces him to the ground.
Oh, but now the Tyranitar dies because it's Terraflying.
He's died to his own Sandstorm so many
times. And now
times.
now the thing is, it's Swampert, which is poisoned, but the that Ironhead was probably going for the flinch because the liquidation is just guaranteed.
Well, and liquidation is Stellar Terra boosted because he only used Earthquake on the other go around. Yeah, that was good.
So I think if the Ironhead had caused it to flinch, it would have been a very different game. But that's also just very last ditch, just trying to survive for another.
Are you saying Wide Guard doesn't have the same protect limitations, Wah? I'm reading chat. Just because Wah said Wide Guard can be spammed too, so I was asking if it doesn't have the same. That's crazy.
Wide Guard can be spammed. Yes, that's because it's much like because protect is against
you're not getting
everything,
hit. That's
except
protecting
for
you from getting hit by anything versus the chance that someone
except for Urshifu. But with Wide Guard it covers, even though it covers both of your Pokemon, there's so much more moves that are just single type, like just single attacking. So that's why it can cover for all of those. Noted. Let's get the game. Because it still makes both Pokemon vulnerable to and waste a move. Making both Pokemon vulnerable to single target attacks.
That is valid. All right.
So still very good game. Good first game.
Very aggressive.
It did come down to the end.
Same lead. No, different lead from Dallas. Goes for the Sunny Day Hyphlosion lead.
Immediately switching out
for the Intimidate.
Getting the Intimidate up.
Goes for Taunt.
But the Armor Rouge has definitely gone for... I'd assume it's gone for Trick Room here.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. The Taunt was smart. Taunt was very smart. Grimmsnarl tank... Second time it's tanked a Fake Out.
And immune to the Taunt, Prankster.
Yep.
Bullet Punch doing fuck all. Now it's going to do even more.
Bullet Punch I'm a little bit confused about.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he maybe just as a way to have priority in Trick Room.
Maybe it just doesn't deal because both times he brought him on top. Like both games he brought him on top.
And he gets the burn. The
burn does kill. That's brutal. That is brutal.
Uh-oh, Eli disconnected. Oh, he's back.
Oh. Okay. Terragrass Terrablast is interesting.
Yeah.
It just does not do a lot, and
he doesn't have Sun now, so he can't really hit Eruption.
Yeah.
Comfortably.
We'll see what happens here.
I still would have hit Eruption. Yeah.
Again? Oh, I see what's happening. It's choiced.
He's choice locked, yeah.
He's choiced. and that's gonna do it.
See, I fucking told you, Eli. I fucking told you. Okay, I want to say, Eli was bothering me. Not bothering me. Bothering me is not the word. He's never a bother. Was talking to me about prep, and he was running through ideas and shit. And he was like, well, what if I do assurance and I do this? And I was like, buddy, assurance hasn't done fuck all shit for you this entire season. I know you want to do the fun techie things, and that's great. I love doing the fun techie things. I'm here for the fun techie things. But sometimes, at the end of the day, all you need to do is click a button. That button being kowtow cleave.
Yeah, that was another thing that I had been looking at like in his first 2 games. And I was very, very confused why he was bringing assurance if he also has kowtow cleave, which is just the better moves.
You just click kowtow cleave.
Like it shows here. It really just shows here.
And it sucks.
Because it's such a powerful move.
It is, and you hate to see a Pokemon like King Gambit be limited to a special skill set, but like when you do something that well, do it. You know what I mean? Like, there's very little deviation in King Gambit sets. I think most of the deviation comes down to what item you're using, what spread you're using, and that's it. Like the moves, pretty much. I think there's only like 6 moves you choose with King Gambit between kowtow cleave, sucker punch. In this case, probably protect, Iron Head, things like that.
Yep.
Now there is a really funny.
And I think that first game, I do think that if he was gonna, that and the not tearing the Tyranitar immediately with the earthquake coming out.
That was bad.
That was really questionable, especially because immediately after that he switches the Tyranitar out, eventually switches it back in, and then immediately tears flying again.
And I
don't. And if you look back on it, after the earthquake, the Tyranitar did not take a lot of damage, and then it eventually died to its own sandstorm because it was Terra flying.
This is, I think, 3 weeks in a row where he has had a Mon die to his own sandstorm, and I think I think Tyranitar has died to it twice now, maybe just once this week, but I know I've seen this happen before, and I understand that you have that weather core, you have the Braviary Sun with the high Flosion, and you have the sand team, but sand is such a inclement weather, no pun intended, because it deals damage to you every fucking turn.
True.
So I feel like you really have to play into the mitigation. You need to be having like a fucking Cacturn with Sandveil, Garchomp with Sandveil, because we don't have Sandveil's not banned in this VGC league, guys. You can use, if someone wants to, we have a fucking Clefairy and a Clefable. If one of you cocksuckers, because I'm using that term very endearingly, I promise, wants to use, if one of you guys wants to sit there and spam minimize, go for it. It's draft league and it's doubles. There is no move limitations in the rules. I looked. That's why I used Bright Powder last week.
Oh God. But yeah, I would double check that with Blizzard first, because he's the resident VGC guy.
I saw what that's what I'm saying is those moves are not banned in VGC, and we have those listed in the sheet. On the original sheet has those moves banned. He took them out.
Okay,
it's pure VGC. It's no, there's no draft.
In that case, it's good.
Yeah, I'm not trying. I'm not trying to find a legal loophole.
Yeah, one more thing. Like with the Sandstorm, there wasn't a lot. Like there, a lot of times Sandstorm doesn't really do a ton. In this case, like we saw it a lot because it came down to just like the tiniest of chip damage at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But like in this case, it made a difference. In a lot of cases, it won't really make too much of a difference. So, you don't really have to cover for. You don't really have to cover for Sandstorm specifically. Maybe if you're using a Mon with Focus Sash, then you will. In that case, you're going to want to cover for it. But aside from that, then there's not too much you have to do if you can tank it. So.
But that's just it. I think there's nothing on his team that screams tank besides maybe Braviary. everything on his team. I mean, obviously Typhlosion has a pretty defensive typing and Fire Ghost, but like Grafii doesn't take a hit worth flying fuck. Hitmontop doesn't. When you have a 4 times weakness to fighting, you don't. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he doesn't have a defensive backline to accept the chip damage. If the chip damage could be mitigated if you're taking less damage from other attacks.
Yeah, I think the extra drill might have been. It could have been a little. It could have been tanky. I forget exactly what. Like if he was trying to outspeed or with it, or if he was just trying to deal as much damage as possible with Earthquake.
True.
Which could have been what was happening, but yeah.
True.
In the end in this game, there were a decent amount of, because I still think he could have gotten Eruption or whatever move he had on the Typhlosion, because Terror Grass was not
just
doing
anything. Just to hit it,
especially against King Gambit,
screens.
Against King Gambit behind screens.
Yeah, you needed to do as much damage as you could, and a base 80 Terra Blast is not it when you're a innate fire type with a choice scarf and you can click Eruption, at least for one turn.
Mm-hmm. I think he might have been scared of it hitting Armor Rouge.
Right. All right. Closing segment. Fields of Punishment and Elysium. Now, on the Fields of Punishment topic, we had 3 absentee matches this week.
Yep.
I don't like giving Fields of Punishment to people for situations like this. Like, obviously, we gave it to James Bond week 1, but that was purely because of the fact that he was playing poker, and it was more of a meme than anything. Fields of Punishment. What I'm getting at is Fields of Punishment is not something that we have to give out, unless we think someone did absolutely deserve playing poorly enough to have it. You're the co-host. We know how this goes. You take the wheel first. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah. Okay. So like, I don't want to give out Fields of Punishment at all. Like this is like
bad.
This is I feel like anyone giving out this is, no matter what, going to not feel good about it. But again, Fields of Punishment is not a thing that you should be very concerned about. It's mainly just, again, like Spam said this a lot. Like it's mainly just trying to address help you address problems in your team.
Right.
With that being said, not Terra flying on the Tyranitar was a little bit questionable. So and I do think there was with SNB's game there was a decent amount of just misplays with no eruption and not hitting him with the Terra flying into Earthquake, the super effective Earthquake. I think that was big. And so again, I don't think that's.
I think of the 3 weeks that we had, Dallas's gameplay this week was the poorest, but we do only have 3 games.
Yeah. It's.
So here's what I'm proposing. Dallas, you have skirted the Fields of Punishment this week. Don't fucking do it again. I don't think anyone has, outside of the those of us who have had to forfeit due to lack of either communication or life instances. I think those are the ones deserving of Fields of Punishment. But since there's 3 of us, we can all just hang our heads in shame.
Shame on y'all.
Yep, I'll take it.
Yeah, but yeah, again, as far as that goes, just getting in either. Communicating better, if you are able to communicate really well with whoever you're playing against, and for some reason you're not able to get your match, and we understand that, everyone's gonna understand that.
I had to do it this week. I've fucking
you should I think you were okay with I'd be okay with in your situation with you being
Bozy. I do still want to fight you at some point. If I do have the free time, I would like to do an actual matchup.
Yeah, it obviously wouldn't count.
But. Yeah, but I do want to fight because I think I had to forfeit against Bozy last season too. It's not on purpose, my friend. I promise.
But yeah, I think just if there's no communication whatsoever, like
That's the
that's
issue.
not
Yeah.
good. That's not good. Like I'm like I don't want to have to make this shout out, but here, let's just say there was one player where who the other person was trying to reach out in advance, saying that like from these days on they weren't going to be free, so it would have to be within those 3 dates, and the other person just did not reply.
Yeah.
So um, so just making sure there's clear communication and like do it like try to get something at least scheduled as early as to like as early as even like tonight or just or tomorrow. Just getting something on paper as quickly as possible because if we
I will say I'm being kind of a hypocrite in that because I know WA said their availability was only X day to X day, so I'm waiting until the
uh-huh.
day before you're free before I bug you.
um but yeah, so just making sure that you're as like just try to schedule something as quickly as possible because that's going to make thing and even scheduling like a backup time in case the first one doesn't work.
Yes, the backup time thing I think is a big thing because like life happens. It's gonna happen. We're all adults here. I think. I hope most of us are adults, and if not, you shouldn't be in my Discord server.
Stupids. But just try to get those in and like if we see that you're doing
Fuck yeah, MTG night, let's go.
yeah, if we see that you're doing enough, then and there wasn't anything that your opponent was doing, we're gonna give you the win by forfeit.
Yeah. On to Elysium.
Okay, so this is tough. This is really tough. Because so there were a couple of really like solid. There was a lot of just really solid play. And like you look at this is a little bit of a toss up because you look at how well is it hold on, is Daddy Ghost is
Eli.
that's yeah.
Yeah,
You look
he
at how
went.
well like Eli played really well for the most part at least.
He
Like I
flawless him
didn't
game
like there
two. He
wasn't
didn't lose a
really
single mon.
he flawless game two. Game one was really like clear cut even with
Yep.
some of the misplays with the earthquake and stuff, but that was really good. And then also I do want to shout out the like although it did not go the way that Blizzard expected it to, and I think he definitely I don't think he was in the correct headspace in the second and third games. I do think that that was a really impressive comeback
Finny.
by Feeney.
Yeah, he played that very well.
So those were both really solid. Um, and then also my game Saline played really well.
Yeah.
Even with the RNG in the second game. So like it's really just a toss up between those three. So it just depends on like which is more of an impressive outcome.
So
And
this
I
is something that
here, I'll let you talk.
sorry, I've talked about before. Sweeps. I don't think sweeps are a good indication of skill level. 9 times out of 10. I think usually when you sweep someone it's because you had the perfect setup and they didn't have an answer or they didn't know how to answer it or like it's very circumstantial and you get up and you go. That being said, to go to a second game where you did lose Pokemon and to then adapt and go, how do I fix this to then not lose any Pokemon in the second set? I do think that holds a little bit more of a precedent. Because it's not so much that he swept him, because he did move around. I mean, we saw Armor Rouge, we saw Gambit, we saw
we saw the Swampert game one. I think we saw everything.
I'm talking about game 2.
Except for in everything I think we saw everything except for maybe the Goodra.
Grimmsnarl, Armor Rouge, swaps. Swampert. So we've seen 3. And yeah, so we saw all 4 of his Pokemon in that second game. So it wasn't a sweep. He didn't one Pokemon go click, 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 click. There was maneuverability. There was
like Primarina.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It wasn't one mon click button go burr. Grimmsnarl was low. Armarouge was low. He was manipulating himself around the field. If I had to nominate, I would choose to nominate Eli.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. Like sweeping in general, like I don't think it's the best example, except for the fact that you're if your opponent's not doing well, then obviously that's an example. But like that was like even with some of the misplays that S&B had, it was very just
great gameplay.
It was like there was nothing that S&B could do.
Nope.
There was nothing that S&B could do.
He maneuvered when he needed to maneuver. He pivoted when he needed to pivot. It was good.
Yeah, so I agree. I think this week that like it was domination.
It was
domination. So I think I do say that we give it to Eli this week.
Well, congrats, Eli. You have won I think this is your first time in Elysium, so hell yeah, fuck yeah, welcome.
Huzzah!
We only have one person who's close enough to hit Isles of the Blessed, and they are not in this league, so we'll have to wait for them to come back.
I was about to say it's only been 3 weeks.
Well, so how Isles of the Blessed works is if you make Elysium 3 times, you get reincarnated, right? Yeah. Well, obviously, I'm not going to come to your house and kill you and reincarnate you. But if you I'm sorry, hate to break it to you guys, that's my bad. There's legal implications, my bad. But yeah, well, once you hit it 3 times, you get like a special little roll, and I think I don't know. It's fun. You get fun things. I just haven't decided what the fun things are yet.
Yeah. With that being said, if you do want to be reincarnated, you do have to sign a lot of paperwork. It's going to be a very in-depth process. Yeah, so you might not want to do that necessarily, but we will give you a pretty cool role, so that's pretty dope.
You can avoid all of the paperwork and go join the Shaolin Temple and attempt reincarnation at one point, but it can't. It's not immediate gratification. And let's be honest here, we probably all want immediate gratification.
Yeah. Yeah.
On a lighter mood. Thank you guys for joining us. Charcoal, it was a blast having you on stream as the co-host.
Yeah, it was fun. It was really fun.
And I think Eli is gonna claim dibs next week because he seemed pretty antsy to do it this week. It's really funny. Everybody's like, "Can I do it this week? Can I do it this week? Can I do it this week?" And it's like, no, I already have a co-host. But you can next week. That's how it's been 3 weeks in a row.
You should definitely make like a sheet for that.
What do you mean?
You should definitely make a sheet for co-host signups.
Nah, you guys can volunteer. You guys seem to. I gotta say, season 1, I didn't have any volunteers. I had to. Well, that's not true. I think I had a couple people volunteer, but like I asked, I was like, "Hey, you want to co-host?" And it wasn't to say that I think people didn't want to volunteer. I just didn't know if like people were understanding that they could say, "Can I co-host?" Abso-fucking-lutely. It's just it's not like I'm a professional YouTuber by any means.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a professional YouTuber.
And I don't like doing the streams by myself because then it means I have to do Fields of Punishment in Elysium.
Yeah, that sounds depressing.
It is. I could just pawn it off on one of you guys.
No,
that's not... Kemba, I love you, cat. We're almost done with the stream. Like, wait, 5 minutes. All right. I have to give my cat attention. She's being a needy hoe. Also, there's a couple of MTG nerds in here. I don't know if you caught that. My cat's name is, in fact, Kemba. Yep.
Oh my god.
It's pretty good. All right. Thanks for coming out, guys. We will catch you on the next stream. I really look forward to it, and we'll see you in week 4.
Yep, and get your matches in.
Yeah. Looking at myself in the mirror.
Yes, spam no.
Laters, y'all.
See ya.